Hi everyone, welcome to today's class. I'm Joanna, and today I'm going to give you guys a really nice grounding, heart-opening flow. So we're going to focus a lot on awakening the channel, connecting to the heart along the inner arm, connecting to the armpit, and we're also going to focus on some nice, juicy back bending to get the flow going along the spine. So let's get into it.
Beginning with our hands crossing over the heart and just starting to create a deeper connection to this space. Notice the energy present underneath your hands and the quality present. Whenever our heart is in balance, we can naturally tap into this pure energy which comes from the heart, the energy of love and compassion. You can start to observe this energy as a pure, luminous light shining from the root of your heart. As you deepen the breath, observe this light gradually becoming brighter. And then slowly lower down your hands. I'm starting to deepen the breath a little bit more, activating the Ujjayi breath now, the victorious breath, creating this ocean sound as you inhale and exhale. Then coming over to all fours, your hands and knees. And as we arrive here, inhale and gently curve the spine with your exhalation rounding about halfway. Inhale again, just a small curve of the spine, lifting the chest. Exhale and rounding the back gently. Inhale, curving the spine, looking forward. With your exhalation, tuck your tailbone under. Drop the crown a little bit more now. Inhale, roll the shoulders a little more back, lifting at the heart. And exhale, rounding your spine. Good, breathing in. And exhale, slowly sitting back now into your child's pose. Let yourself arrive here. Continue to breathe deeply. Feel the sensation as you breathe into the low back, broadening on the in-breath, relaxing on the out-breath. Now slowly lift up and come seated onto your heels, either sitting on a folded blanket or you can take a thicker cushion in between your feet. Interlace your fingers and press your palms forward, away from you and up. Inhale here, let the ribs splay out. And with an exhalation, press your palms forward and round your spine. Inhale, press those palms up, opening up at the chest as you look up. Exhale, rounding your whole spine as you press your palms forward. Breathing in, extend the arms up. And with an exhalation, round your whole back, so really tuck your tailbone under. Inhale one last time, extend the arms up. And with an exhalation, release the fingers and lower the arms all the way down. Now lower the left hand down and float the right arm up for a side bend. Shifting your rib cage a little bit over to the right side. Reach through the fingers and then slowly come across to the other side. Root the right hand down, float the left arm up. Again, shift your upper body a bit over to the left as you do this. And then come back to center. Remove your prop to the side. And let's sink back into puppy pose. So we walk those hands a little bit forward now, dropping the forehead down to the ground and keeping the elbows lifted. And if you want to go deeper here, you can drop the chest all the way down to the ground and look forward in between your hands. This is quite a deep option, so for those of you that might need a little more time to warm up your spine, just stick with the forehead down to the ground. Now let's lift up and away from the mat and just roll all the way through onto the upper thigh, the belly, rooting those elbows under the shoulders. Checking so they're shoulder width apart. Then turn your head over the left shoulder. With an inhalation, come back to center. And with an exhale, twist over the right shoulder. Inhale, back to center. Exhale over the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, twisting over the right side. Breathe in, back to middle. And then from here, draw the elbows apart. Stack your hands. Release the forehead. You can roll the heels a little bit apart as well and just make sure that your thighs, your belly, everything is dropping and releasing into the ground. Now we're gonna come into a little cobra variation with the rib cage lifting from the ground, starting with the fingertips to the outside of the mat, spreading nice and wide. Inhale, lift up, chin into the chest. Exhale, tilt your head back as you slowly release the belly and heart back down. Inhale, tuck your chin in on the way up, rising up. Exhale, tilt your head back as you lower. Inhale, rising up this wave-like motion. Exhale and release down. Breathing in, pressing into those fingers. Go as high up as feels good for you. And with an exhalation, lower. Now from here, take your hands under the shoulders. Let's press all the way back into a child's pose. After a couple of nourishing back bends, just observe the sensations along your spine. Breathe nice and deep here and give yourself the time to just extend and lengthen the back. Take another breath here. Now from here, lift your head, look forward. Stretch through the arms, inhale. With an exhalation, lift up and round your spine just like cat pose. Then inhale, press your hips forward. Lift the heart, keep your knees down to the ground for now. And with an out breath, slowly press back towards the heels into child's pose. Inhale here. And exhale out. With your next inhalation, look forward, stretching a little bit more through the arms. And with an exhalation, lift up around the spine. Inhale, shift your hips forward, coming into our lazy up dog with the knees down, looking up to the ceiling. Exhale, slowly press back towards the heels. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale and release. Then inhale, lift the head, look forward in between the hands, stretching through the arms once more. Exhale and round the back, cat pose. Inhale now as you shift your hips forward, press into the tops of the feet, lift the knees upward facing dog. And with your exhalation, press back into downward facing dog. Now you can pedal out the feet a little bit from side to side as you arrive here. Remember to keep the knees slightly bent if you notice that your back is rounding. Now let's look forward and slowly walk all the way to the front of the mat. As we arrive here, take those feet to the outer edges of the mat. Grab a hold of the elbows and now sway generously from side to side. So feeling not only the back lengthening, but notice the back of the right leg lengthening a little bit more, and then the left side as you go from side to side. Now root the fingers down to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. With an exhalation, just fold forward and down. Inhale, halfway lift. This can also be with your hands to the shins if that's too low. Exhale and fold. Breathing in, halfway lift. Last time. Exhale and fold. Now bend the knees and slowly roll yourself up to standing. Circle the arms back a couple of times, releasing the shoulders, rooting down into your standing position. Now turn the toes slightly out, bring the hands in front of the heart, and then inhale, sweep the arms all the way up overhead. With an exhalation, lower the hands to your center, into a squat pose. Inhale and press all the way back up, reaching those fingers up overhead. Exhale and slowly sit back down, squat pose. Inhale, pressing back up to standing. And with an exhalation this time, we completely sit back. See if you might be able to sit a little bit lower. If that is too challenging, just stay with your buttocks a little higher. And if you're able to drop your tailbone a little bit deeper, bringing the elbows to the inside of your knees, doing that. See if you can continuously reach up through the crown of your head. So keep the spine nice and long. Now we're going to come into a little twist, so lower the left hand along the inside of the left leg and float the right arm up, rotating your heart nice and open. And with an out breath, lower the right hand down along the inside of the right leg, float the left arm up, inhale, exhale and lower. Now from here, extend the arms forward, finding the balance. Either bring your hands behind you if this feels too challenging and lower from here, or keep those arms reaching forward as you slowly sit back into boat pose. So we float the feet up here in line with the eyes, either holding onto the thighs for some support or keep the arms alongside the legs. And taking a final breath here. And then tuck your chin in towards the chest and gently roll yourself all the way down to the ground. Grab a hold of your knees and sway a little bit from side to side. Just letting your back connect, root down into the ground. noticing the sensations right now. And then lower the feet down. See if you can place them hip width apart. You can place your feet just underneath your knees. Now with your next inhalation, start to lift your hips up and away from the ground, as well as the arms, floating them all the way up overhead. With an exhalation, lower the hips and the arms simultaneously, almost all the way down. Breathe in, press the hips up and float the arms up overhead. And with your exhalation, slowly lowering down. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, press the hips up, float the arms back. And with an exhalation, come all the way down this time, fully dropping into the ground. And then once you arrive, let the soles of the feet come together. And dropping your knees open to the side for a butterfly pose. And with your hands on your low belly, just take a moment here to once more connect to your breathing. Welcoming the breath deep into your body. Feeling the belly expanding underneath your hands on every inhale. Feel it dropping on every exhale. Now we will bring the knees together, placing them hip width apart to prepare for another bridge pose. This time you have the option to go a little deeper. Start with lifting your hips. And then you can interlace your fingers underneath you. Tuck your arms under the upper back. And see if you can press a little more into the ground, and naturally the heart, the chest will come closer to the chin. You want to keep your arms straight, the fist reaching towards the heels. Feel that nice opening around the heart, letting the light shine a little brighter. And then gently release the fingers. Take the arms a little bit apart so that you have space to roll all the way down. Once you arrive here, we will bring the knees back into the chest. Make some small circular movements here, going one direction and then going the other direction. Grounding the energy at the base of your spine. And after a couple of circles, place your hands under the knees and start to rock forward and back, massaging the channels along your spine. And we do that about 3 times. And then find the balance here. Try to avoid dropping your feet down and see if you can extend the legs to come back to boat pose. Choose your variation. You could also extend the legs a little bit more here for a challenge. If you need some help, you can also hold the thighs. Take one more breath. And then cross over the ankles. See if you can lower the top of the feet so that you can roll over the shins. And then step back into a downward facing dog. Now as you arrive here, just sway your head a little bit from side to side, relaxing at the neck. with your next inhalation, come forward, plank position. With an exhalation, lower down all the way to the ground or hover in low plank. Inhale, rise up, cobra, or go for upward facing dog. And with an exhalation, pressing back, downward facing dog. Now we will take a deep breath in as we lift the right leg up. With an exhale, draw the knee below the right wrist, preparing for pigeon pose. Slide with the left leg back, and here I want you to take a prop, maybe a blanket or a pillow. Make sure that that is a little bit thicker and tuck it underneath the buttocks. The reason why is we want to be nicely supported for the next pose, keeping our hips in center. Root the right hand down with the fingertips grounded, and then turn your chest open towards the left. Now you can either stay here, just keeping that gentle rotation in the chest. You can also reach back through the left arm to get a little more of an effect along the heart channel. If you feel that you're ready to go for a bind, bend the leg, grab a hold of your foot, feeling a deeper stretch into the upper thigh, into the quad. The last option here is to go for a mermaid pose. Then you want to guide your foot to the crease of the arm and reach the fingers up. And if you're comfortable here, float the right arm up overhead and reach with the fingers towards the left hand and see if you can create a bind there as well. Now this is quite a deep back bend and a heart opener, so make sure that there's no pinching pain anywhere along the spine. Keep the heart lifted, feel that upward movement. Breathe and slowly release, coming out of the pose, and root your hands down. After this back bend, we want to walk our hands over to the right side, so a little bit to the outside of the mat, and reach through the fingers. Give yourself the space here to just lengthen out the left side of the body where there was a little compression. Then come to center, and now we drop into our regular pigeon pose. Go as deep as you'd like. You might want to go a little bit deeper here, so if you want to lower your prop, by all means do that. Take a moment to just drop and relax into this hip opener. If it feels too much for your knee, I would recommend reclined pigeon pose where you are laying on your back, or maybe a higher prop underneath the buttocks. And we will take one more breath here, and then return back onto your hands. Tuck your toes in behind you. And let's press ourselves back, downward facing dog. Now with an in-breath, come forward, plank pose. Exhale and lower, chaturanga. Inhale, rise up. Choose your back bend variation. With your exhalation, press back, downward facing dog. From downward dog, inhale, float the left leg up high. And with an exhalation, draw the knee to below the left wrist. Again, prop for pigeon pose, starting with a little higher prop, so maybe a extra thick blanket or a pillow. This will help you in the upcoming pose. And then root the left hand down, fingertips to the ground. And then turn your chest open to the side. As you arrive here, make sure already that you have that awareness of lengthening up through the crown of the head. And then when you feel ready, reaching back with that right arm. Maybe you stay here or you start to bend the right leg and go for a bind. Feeling the stretch into the quad now as well. Maybe you start to go a little bit further, continuing into mermaid pose. Last step is the bind, looking forward and feeling that opening also into the chest. Beautiful pose for the heart. Breathe here nice and deep wherever you are. Nourishing our spine, nourishing the chest. Last breath. And then letting go, bringing our hands all the way down to the ground. And we will once more turn our chest towards the left side, feeling that we are lengthening out the right side of the body. Breathe into that space. And then come back to center now for our pigeon pose. And maybe you want to drop a little bit deeper, lowering the prop, removing a prop, or just stay where you are. Let yourself go here. Take a moment to check in with the breathing. Can you still hear the sound of your own breath? Can you drop your awareness a little bit deeper and observe and notice the subtle shifts taking place energetically in your body? Without any judgment, just notice what is there, what is present. Final breath. And then we return back up on our hands. Tuck the toes in, press back, downward facing dog. And then from our downward dog, let's shift forward with an in-breath plank pose. Exhale, lowering chaturanga. You can also come to the floor if you'd like. Breathe in, rise up. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward dog. Exhale, press back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here, just root yourself down. Lengthen up through the spine. And then from here we will bring ourselves to seated. See if you can cross over the ankles. And then sit back. Now we will scoop our hips a little bit forward. And just slowly make our way all the way back down. Bring your knees into the chest. Swaying once more a little bit from side to side. And then we're going to come into a couple of neutral neutralizing rotations after some back bends. You might want to use a heavier pillow. This is just optional. Bring your legs into a 90-degree bend. Reach those arms to the side and then slowly lower over to the left. I'm doing a L-shaped rotation here. This means that the legs are just at a 90-degree bend. You can use a pillow in between the knees or on top of the legs to go a little bit further. Both arms reaching to the side and your head slightly turned over towards the right hand. And taking a couple more deep, steady breaths here. Just feel the belly rising and falling. You might naturally breathe a little more slow at this part of the practice. And from here, take your pillow, if you have one, to the side. And let's prepare ourselves to come back to center. Inhale. Exhale, come all the way across to the other side. Take the pillow either in between the knees or on top. And then reach the arms to the side. Turn your head slightly over towards the left hand. And relax. Let go into the twist. Just feel the energy starting to root down a little bit more. Things starting to slow down. Enjoying a few more deep breaths. From here, we will start to remove that pillow, coming back to center with an in breath, and then drawing our knees into the chest, again swaying here a little bit from side to side, or a few circular movements. Whatever feels good. And we will then bring yourselves into a final little happy baby. Either grabbing hold of your ankles for a modified variation, or your big toes. Maybe you want to hold on to the outer edges of the feet. Whatever variation feels good for you, where you can keep the spine rooted to the ground, and then sway a little bit from right to left. Feeling this massage once more along the spine, making these sways quite slow. Kind of like you're rocking yourself into shavasana, the final resting pose. And then lowering your feet all the way down to the ground. And let's start to stretch out those legs, extending them. Maybe take a blanket now over your body, or at least over the low belly. And then bring yourself into this comfortable laying position where your body can just drop. Everything can soften and relax deeper into the ground. Completely letting go of those steadier ujjayi breaths now. The breath becoming more light, gentle and soft. Feel all the muscles softening and relaxing. Feel your whole body surrendering. And observe and notice how the heart space feels right now. Come back to observing that luminous light shining from the heart. That pure energy that can become more available to us, of love and compassion. Feel this energy moving through each and every cell in your body, and allow it to root down into each and every cell until your whole body feels luminous, bright, shining. Allow these effects to settle in and continue to let go. Gently start to move your fingers and toes, taking the time to come back to the room, feeling your body, maybe circulating around the wrist and ankles. And then reaching your arms high after a nice little stretch, see if you can slowly turn over to the side of your mat. And bending your knees in, relaxing onto your upper arm. And then we will start to slowly press all the way up to an upright position, coming back to a cross-legged seat. And bringing our hands in front of the heart space, feeling gratitude for this moment, for honoring the self in today's practice. And let's humbly bow down to close. Namaste.
Thank you everyone for joining this heart opening practice. I hope that you enjoyed it. And I wish you a lovely rest of your day. See you next time.